Hello and howdy from East Cleveland Public Library. Welcome to Tuesday Free Travel Opportunities this summer of 2024. Our theme at East Cleveland Public Library was travel, so we wanted to share some of the opportunities that we discussed and showcase some of the free travel opportunities in Northeast Ohio available to our patrons. Today, we want to discuss the Museums for All program, which is associated with the SNAP EBT card. So for patrons and viewers with a SNAP EBT card, we have some great opportunities so a little bit about this program. Through Museums for All, those receiving food assistance SNAP benefits can gain free or reduced admission to more than 1,300 museums throughout the United States simply by presenting their SNAP EBT card. The cost of museum admission can be a barrier for many low-income families. Participating museums provide reduced admission ranging from free to $3 per person to visitors presenting their EBT card. This reduced rate is available during all normal operating hours for up to 4 individuals per EBT card. With year-round open-door policies, Museums for All invites low-income visitors to feel welcome at all cultural institutions. Since the launch of the initiative in 2014-2015, Museums for All has served more than 9 million visitors nationwide at more than 1,300 museums of all varieties, representing 50 states, the District of Columbia, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. So let's take a look at the museums in Cleveland that are members of this program. The first is the Cleveland History Center at the Western Reserve Historical Society. Founded in 1867, the Western Reserve Historical Society is a regional history organization with 7 properties across Northeast Ohio. Included in its collections are 39 historic structures, over 100,000 objects in its museum's collections, an expansive library of published and primary source materials, an auto aviation collection, clothing and textile collection, and more. The Cleveland History Center also connects to the Crawford Auto and Aviation Museum, which is a collection of historic automobiles and aircraft, as well as the Euclid Beach Carousel, which is always worth a ride. Hale Farm and Village, which is one of their properties, is a living history museum operated by the Western Reserve Historical Society within the boundaries of the Cuyahoga Valley National Park. Visitors can explore 19th century life in the Western Reserve, including 32 historic structures, craft and trade demonstration, farm animals, and gardens. Costume interpreters will provide a look into the daily life on the farm. The Cleveland Botanical Gardens was founded in 1930 as the Garden Center of Greater Cleveland. It was the first such civic garden in any American city. The centerpiece of the current museum is the Eleanor Armstrong Smith Glasshouse, a 17,000 square foot conservatory home to plant and animal life from 2 separate biomes, the spiny desert of Madagascar and the cloud forest of Costa Rica. They feature over 350 species of plants and 50 species of animal, including hundreds of butterflies. There are also 10 acres of outdoor gardens for visitors to explore. For 100 years, the Cleveland Museum of Natural History has been recognized as one of the finest natural history museums in North America. The museum is the largest museum in Ohio dedicated to the natural sciences. The museum's collection encompassed approximately 5 million specimens, while its Natural Areas program protects more than 12,000 acres of natural habitats in Northeast Ohio. Each preserve harbors at least one unique natural community, including hardwood forest, Lake Erie Island, fossil dune ridge, marsh, swamp, and glacial wetland. Together, these areas represent the remarkable biological diversity that was once widespread throughout the region and now serve as educational and scientific resources. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Foundation was established on April 20th, 1983 by Ahmet Ertegun, founder and chairman of Atlantic Records. After a long search for the right city, Cleveland was chosen in 1986 as the Hall of Fame's permanent home. Architect I.M. Pei designed the new museum, and it was dedicated on September 1st, 1995. The museum documents the history of rock music and the artists, producers, engineers, and other notable figures and personnel who have influenced this development. There are a couple other museums around the Cleveland area that are of particular interest in participating in the Museums for All program. The first is Holden Forest and Gardens, which connects people with the wonder, beauty, and immense value of trees and plants. The campus, located east of Cleveland, sprawls over an enchanting expanse of land in Lake and Geauga counties and offers gardens, trails, lakes, and meadows. Visitors also receive entry to the iconic attractions such as the Merch Canopy Walk and the Culber Emergent Tower. Founded in 1947, the Shaker Historical Society collects, preserves, and interprets the history of Shaker Heights to inspire curiosity and foster engagement between diverse communities and the people, events, and stories that shape local history. They provide stewardship for our region's significant history by nurturing respectful discovery, preservation, collection, and public dissemination of the history, traditions, and heritage of the North Union Shaker sect, Shaker Heights, Warrensville Township, and the surrounding areas. Rooted in the Jewish value of respect for all humanity, the Maltz Museum mission is to build bridges of tolerance and understanding by sharing Jewish heritage through the lens of the American experience. It is dedicated to exploring diverse stories of courage from history and today, with a commitment to education and learning so that there can be a more inclusive tomorrow. The museum also includes the Temple Tifereth Israel Gallery, featuring an internationally recognized collection of Judaica, as well as a special exhibition gallery featuring important exhibitions of national and international acclaim. I wanted to show off some of the neat options in Akron for those patrons willing to make a bit of a drive down there and who still want to participate in the Museum for All program. The first is Stan Hewitt Hall and Gardens. Stan Hewitt Hall and Gardens is a historic house museum in Akron, Ohio. The estate includes gardens, a greenhouse, carriage house, and the main mansion. The 22nd largest house ever built in the United States. This is a National Historic Landmark. It is nationally significant as the home of F.A. Sieberling, co-founder of the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. Various tours of the house and grounds are offered throughout the year. The University of Akron owns a few museums as well. The first is the Hauer House. The Hauer House is a Victorian mansion that was completed in 1871. It was built by John Henry Hauer, a leading Akron industrialist who was active in the milling, reaping, and cereal industries. The unusual floor plan was based on the Akron plan, developed by Jacob Snyder, and widely used in church constructions as part of the Sunday school movement across the United States between 1870 and 1917. The mansion is filled with hundreds of treasures and furnishings the Hauer family collected from around the world. At the university itself, the Cummings Center features the National Museum of Psychology and the Institute for Human Science and Culture. The National Museum of Psychology invites visitors to explore the history of our exhibits to understand the human experience. Highlights include interactive exhibits on memory, intelligence, and personality, home movies of Sigmund Freud, a Nobel Prize, the simulated shock generator from Stanley Milgram's obedience studies, and artifacts of the Stanford prison experiment. The museum features permanent and rotating exhibits on the history of psychology as a profession, a science, and an agent of social change. Visitors of all ages can explore how psychology has become a part of popular culture and everyday life. The Institute for Human Science and Culture is to promote the exploration and the appreciation of the widespread human experience, both local and global, through the activation of museum collections. In addition to the collection storage facilities and classrooms, the Institute for Human Science and Culture is home to the Oak Native American Gallery, the Lynn Rodeman Metzger Galleries, as well as a library containing the David B. Campbell postcard collection, all of which are open to the public. Outside of the university, there are a couple other excellent museums to explore in Akron. The Akron Art Museum features artwork produced from 1850 to today with a commitment to engage with current pressing issues in their full complexity and nuance. That focus animates both the building of a permanent collection and the creation of special exhibitions. To achieve this vision, the Akron Art Museum follows these principles. It supports artists who have historically been marginalized. It champions artists whose artwork expands, redefines, or rejects traditional mediums, and promotes and displays the work of regional artists. The Akron Children's Museum was founded by a small group of young parents who, after visiting numerous children's museums throughout the U.S., queried their peers and determined that such an institution was indeed needed and could serve Akron and the surrounding region well with Akron-centric unique experiences. It is designed to be a gathering place for children and families where play inspires exploration, discovery, and problem solving. The Akron Zoo, officially known as the Akron Zoological Park, is a nonprofit zoo that sits on 77 acres, of which 35 acres are occupied by habitats, amenities, and support. The Akron Zoo is home to over 1,000 animals representing 100 different species and has around 400,000 visitors annually. The zoo is the most visited attraction in Summit County. Finally, just to go and explore a little west, there are a few museums west of Cleveland and Cuyahoga County that I wanted to point out, but I urge folks to come to the East Cleveland Public Library and pick out our handout on the Museums for All program. We have a list of all the museums for all in Ohio, some more information about the museums featured in this presentation, and more information about museums for all in general. That being said, here are two more museums within driving distance of Cleveland that are quite unique. The first is the Oberlin Heritage Center. The Oberlin Heritage Center originated in 1903 as part of the Progressive Era Improvement Movement when a group of citizens founded the Oberlin Improvement Society, later known as the Oberlin Village Improvement Society. This advocated for improved public hygiene and social and municipal services. In 1958, a separate Oberlin Historical Society organized and began acquiring historic buildings and artifacts. Today, the Oberlin Heritage Center offers a year-round array of tours, lectures, outreach programs, and research services, as well as acts as a committed community partner and preservation organizer. It is also a designated facility of the National Park Service's Underground Railroad Network to Freedom program. The Maritime Museum of Sandusky works to educate visitors about the rich maritime history of the Sandusky Bay area. Museum guests will travel back in time to the days of passenger boats, commercial fishing, and ice harvesting on Lake Erie. They will learn about boat building, Ohio's wetlands, shipwrecks, and Sandusky's role in the Underground Railroad. The museum's campus includes the Howman Boathouse, the motor and engine room. Visitors can board Lyman boats, view other vessels on display, or see what's in work in the Boat Building School and Restoration Workshop. So these are just some of the museums for all available to anybody with a SNAP EBT card in Northeast Ohio. We have many, many more that we would like to share with you on our handout throughout Ohio. So we hope that you come visit some of these museums using your SNAP EBT card, or visit East Cleveland Public Library so you can learn more about this program and the other opportunities available throughout Ohio and the country. Thank you very much for listening, and we hope you come read with us and visit us soon in the future.